Hello, dear friends. Welcome to English Listening Practice, a place where we improve our English skills together while exploring ideas that inspire and motivate. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to talk about something that can change your life: the power of beginning. The title of today's session is Start. Try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. It might sound simple, but inside these words lies a secret that separates dreamers from doers. No matter your goals, whether learning English, pursuing a career, or starting a new habit, the first step is always the hardest. But I promise, once you take it, momentum begins. Doors open and possibilities appear that you never imagined. Today, we'll explore why starting matters, how to overcome hesitation, and how persistent action leads to success. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to procrastinate? To think endlessly about what you should do, planning every detail, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. It's human nature. Our minds often create invisible barriers telling us, not now. Wait until you're ready. But here's the truth. Waiting for the perfect moment is the easiest way to stay stuck. Life doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards action. This brings us to an important distinction: the difference between dreamers and doers. Dreamers are full of ideas, they envision success, imagine possibilities, and plan endlessly. But doers? They take imperfect steps, make mistakes, and adjust along the way. They start even when they feel unprepared. Every successful person you admire started somewhere. They didn't wait for perfect conditions, they acted. Consider J.K. Rowling, who wrote the first Harry Potter book while facing hardships and rejection. She didn't wait for inspiration or a perfect opportunity. She started. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb on the first try. He experimented thousands of times, learning from each attempt. Steve Jobs started Apple in a garage. Each of these examples shares a common thread. They took the first step. Despite uncertainty, starting is powerful because action creates momentum. Even small steps, writing a page, sending an email, practicing a skill for 10 minutes set a process in motion. It's like rolling a ball down a hill. At first, it moves slowly, but as it continues, it gains speed. Starting gives you information, experience, and confidence. You learn what works and what doesn't. Waiting, on the other hand, leaves you in the same place. Some people think they need perfect conditions, perfect timing, or perfect preparation. But in reality, perfection is a mirage. Life is unpredictable. Conditions are never perfect. The key is to start anyway. Take a small action today, no matter how imperfect. Write a sentence, make a phone call, practice speaking for 5 minutes, whatever aligns with your goal. Each action brings you closer to progress, and that's where our mantra comes in. Start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. It's simple, but it's a roadmap for life. Start, because action is better than hesitation. Try, because effort teaches you more than planning ever will. Do it, because experience is the ultimate teacher. Keep going, because persistence transforms effort into achievement. This mantra is not just for learning English, since for any goal, any dream, any journey you choose to embark on. So today, I invite you to take one step with me. If you've been hesitating to practice English, try speaking one sentence aloud. If you've been postponing a personal goal, write down your first small action. Success isn't about giant leaps, it's about consistent beginnings. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Remember, dear friends, every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person started with uncertainty, fear, and doubt, but they acted anyway. And that's how ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. In the next sections, we'll dive deeper into overcoming fear, trying consistently, taking action, and building momentum until success becomes inevitable. Fear is one of the most common reasons people hesitate to start. It can stop you before you even try, whispering, "What if I fail? What if people judge me?" Understanding the psychology behind fear is the first step to overcoming it. Fear is a natural response designed to protect us from danger. In modern life, it often appears not as physical threat, but as fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of embarrassment. While fear is meant to keep us safe, it can also trap us in inaction. Many of the most successful people in history experienced failure repeatedly. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He famously said about inventing the light bulb, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's willingness to experiment, fail, and learn from mistakes made him one of the greatest inventors of all time. Similarly, J.K. Rowling, before the global success of Harry Potter, faced numerous rejections from publishers. At one point, she was a single mother living in poverty. Yet she persisted because she refused to let fear stop her from writing. The fear of judgment often accompanies the fear of failure. Many people worry about what others will think if they make mistakes. This is especially true for learners like those studying English who might hesitate to speak, because they fear sounding foolish. The truth is that judgment is usually far less harsh than we imagine. Most people are focused on their own lives, not waiting to criticize your efforts. And even when criticism comes, it can be an opportunity for growth rather than a reason to quit. So, how do we overcome fear? One effective approach is taking small steps. Instead of aiming for perfection immediately, break your goal into tiny, manageable actions. If you're afraid of speaking English, start by saying a single sentence out loud. If you fear failing at a project, complete just one part today. Small wins build confidence, reduce anxiety, and create momentum. Another powerful strategy is mental reframing. Reframe failure as feedback, not a verdict. Instead of thinking, "I failed," try, "I learned something valuable today." This mindset shifts your focus from fear to growth, making setbacks less intimidating. Self-talk also plays a critical role. The words you tell yourself shape your actions. Replace negative thoughts like, "I can't do this," with affirmations such as, "I can try." And trying is progress. Positive self-talk strengthens resilience, reduces stress, and helps you approach challenges with courage. Here's a simple exercise to put this into practice. Take a piece of paper and write down one fear that is holding you back. It could be fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of starting something new. Then, commit to taking one immediate action toward it, no matter how small. For example, if your fear is speaking English, say one sentence aloud. If your fear is starting a business idea, research a single step today. By acting despite fear, you break its power over you. Remember, fear is natural, but it is not permanent. Every step you take, even a small, imperfect step, weakens fear and strengthens confidence. Each attempt teaches you, each action moves you closer to your goal. And every moment you confront fear makes future challenges easier. Think of fear as a sign you are on the right path. The presence of fear often means growth is ahead. When you feel fear, acknowledge it, then take action anyway. Over time, you'll notice that fear no longer controls you, becomes a signal of opportunity. The stories of Edison and Sproling show that failure is not the end, it's part of the journey. They remind us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of fear. By breaking big goals into small actions, reframing failure, practicing positive self-talk, and confronting fear head-on, you develop resilience. You transform fear from an obstacle into a stepping stone toward success. In conclusion, overcoming fear of failure requires awareness, action, and persistence. Write down your fear, take one small step, and remind yourself that every successful person has faced fear and doubt. Fear does not disappear overnight, but by practicing courage daily, you build a foundation for success. Remember our mantra: start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. Facing fear is the first step to keeping it. Many people believe that success comes from inspiration, a sudden idea, a moment of brilliance, or a lucky opportunity. While inspiration can spark action, it is consistent effort that ultimately creates lasting success. This is why the simple act of trying over and over, even when results are slow or imperfect, is more powerful than waiting for the perfect moment or for motivation to strike. Trying is not about immediate success. It is about learning and growth. Each attempt teaches something valuable: what works, what doesn't, and how to improve. Think of learning English. If you try to speak every day, some sentences might be wrong, some pronunciation imperfect, but each effort teaches your brain new patterns, improves fluency, and builds confidence. The act of trying transforms mistakes into stepping stones. Success compounds, but effort compounds even more. The compounding effect of repeated attempts is remarkable. Consider practicing a skill like writing or coding. One day of effort might seem small, but after 30 days, the knowledge and experience you've accumulated are enormous compared to someone who only studies occasionally. Every small attempt builds skill, knowledge, and resilience. In life, the people who get lucky often look lucky only because they tried repeatedly, learning and refining their approach each time. History is filled with examples of people who succeeded because they tried again and again. Inventors like Edison didn't succeed on the first try. He tested thousands of prototypes before finding one that worked. Entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs experienced failures with products like the Apple, Lisa, and Next before creating revolutionary products that transformed technology. Athletes like Serena Williams didn't win major tournaments overnight. They trained, practiced, and competed countless times, learning from each loss. Their stories show that consistent effort outweighs occasional inspiration. One practical way to embrace the power of trying is tracking your efforts and progress. When you see your improvements over time, it reinforces the value of repeated attempts. You could keep a simple journal or log. For English learners, write down the number of sentences you spoke, new words learned, or listening exercises completed each day. For entrepreneurs or creative projects, note each small step you take toward your goal. Tracking progress creates momentum, helps you celebrate small wins, and keeps you moving even when motivation dips. It's also essential to reframe failure as progress. Each time you try and fall short, you are closer to success than before. Every failure teaches you something you didn't know. For instance, a failed pitch to an investor teaches you how to communicate better. A missed goal in a sports match highlights areas for improvement. Every setback is a lesson, and every lesson is a step forward. The mindset shift from expecting immediate success to valuing the process of trying is powerful. Trying itself is a successful act because it means you are moving. You are experimenting, learning, and improving. Waiting for perfect conditions or for guaranteed results keeps most people stagnant. Success rarely comes without repeated effort, mistakes, and refinement. Remember, small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results. Trying every day, even imperfectly, is the engine that drives growth. Like watering a plant daily, effort nurtures potential. Some days, you may see little progress, but the cumulative effect of persistence is unstoppable. To put this into practice, choose one goal you want to work on. It could be improving English, exercising, starting a creative project, or learning a new skill. Commit to trying in small ways every day. If you make a mistake or feel discouraged, remind yourself, each attempt is progress. Each attempt strengthens your skills, builds confidence, and brings you closer to success. In conclusion, trying is the bridge between dreams and reality. Success is not reserved for the naturally talented or the lucky. It belongs to those who keep showing up, learning and refining their approach. As we continue with our mantra, start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. Remember that the act of trying is the heart of progress. Every effort, no matter how small, moves you forward. Planning is important. Goals give direction. Lists and strategies can help us visualize the path ahead. But no matter how detailed the plan is, planning alone never creates results. Success comes from taking action, even imperfectly, and learning as you go. This is the essence of the third step in our mantra, do it. The difference between planning and doing is simple but critical. Planning is thinking, organizing, and imagining. Doing is moving, experimenting, and creating. Imagine you want to learn to play the guitar. You could spend months reading guides, watching videos, and memorizing chords, but unless you pick up the guitar and strum, no music will emerge. Execution transforms ideas into reality. Without action, plans remain dreams. Taking action creates momentum. Every small step produces energy and motivation for the next step. Momentum is like rolling a boulder down a hill. The first push is hardest, requires effort, courage, and decision. But once it starts moving, it gains speed and power. The same happens in personal goals, business, or learning. Starting creates a chain reaction. Action leads to results. Results lead to learning, and learning fuels further action. So how can we start doing effectively? Here are some practical strategies. Time blocking, dedicate specific periods for focused action. Even 15 to 30 minutes daily can make a huge difference. Treat this time as sacred. Avoid multitasking or distractions. If your goal is to practice English, block a set time each day to read, listen, or speak. Small, consistent sessions beat sporadic, unfocused efforts. Prioritization. Focus on the most important actions first. Identify one or two key tasks that will have the greatest impact. Avoid spending excessive time on minor details or perfecting plans before starting. Action is amplified when you act on high-priority items first. Accountability. Share your goals with someone you trust, or track them publicly. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitment creates a gentle pressure to follow through. It also provides encouragement and support when motivation wanes. Removing excuses and obstacles is equally important. Most people delay action not because they lack ability, but because of excuses. I don't have enough time, I'm not ready, or what if I fail? Identify these mental barriers and tackle them head-on. Ask yourself, what is one small action I can take right now? Often, the first step is easier than you think. Action doesn't require perfection, it requires courage to begin. History is full of inspirational stories of people who just started and figured it out along the way. Consider Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She had no formal business training, no investors, and only $5,000 in savings. But she sketched a prototype called Manufacturers and pitched her idea. She learned and adapted as she went, turning a simple action into $1 billion business. Or look at J.K. Rowling, who submitted her first Harry Potter manuscript countless times despite repeated rejections. She didn't wait for the perfect opportunity. She wrote, sent, and revised. Each action brought her closer to success. These examples show that you don't need everything figured out before starting. You need to start, then learn, adjust, and grow. Here's a practical exercise to implement. Do it today. Choose one task you've been postponing. It could be drafting a paragraph, recording a video, or sending an email. Break it down into the smallest possible step and commit to completing it within the next 30 minutes. Notice how action, no matter how small, creates energy and clarity for the next step. The key lesson is that action leads to clarity, not the other way around. Many people believe they must know exactly how everything will unfold before taking the first step. In reality, momentum generates insight. Doing helps you discover what works, what doesn't, and what to improve next. To summarize, Do It is about execution over endless planning. Planning without action is a dream. Action without perfection is progress. By time blocking, prioritizing, seeking accountability, and removing excuses, you build momentum. By starting however imperfectly, you create a path forward. As we continue with our mantra, start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. Remember that each action, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goal. When we look at success stories, it's easy to believe in the myth of overnight success. Headlines often highlight the final achievement, best-selling book, a viral video, $1 million business, but they rarely show the years of effort behind it. What looks like sudden triumph is usually the result of small, consistent actions over time. This is the essence of the fourth step in our mantra, the persistence to keep going. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not about sudden bursts of inspiration or dramatic leaps. Instead, it's about showing up day after day, even when motivation wavers. Think about professional athletes. They don't become champions overnight. Every day, they practice, refine, and push themselves a little further. Each repetition compounds, creating skill, resilience, and confidence. High achievers across all fields share one common trait: daily habits and routines. Authors like Stephen King write thousands of words daily, rain or shine. Entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos dedicated years to experimenting and iterating before Amazon became the giant it is today. Athletes like Serena Williams train relentlessly, often doing the small, repetitive drills that eventually produce greatness. These routines may seem ordinary in the moment, but they accumulate into extraordinary results. How do small, consistent actions multiply into major accomplishments? Imagine dropping a single drop of water on a stone every day. At first, the effect seems negligible. But over weeks, months, and years, the stone develops a groove shaped by constant effort. Similarly, learning a language, developing a skill, or building a business grows from repeated, focused actions. Each day builds upon the last, compounding progress and strengthening habits. Maintaining consistency can be challenging, but there are tools and techniques to help. First, set realistic goals. Break large objectives into small, manageable steps. Second, track your progress. Checklists, journals, or apps help you see how far you've come, reinforcing motivation. Third, create routines that integrate your goal into daily life. Pairing a habit with an existing behavior like listening to English podcasts during your morning commute makes it automatic over time. Fourth, cultivate accountability. Share your commitment with a friend or mentor who encourages and supports you when enthusiasm. Wayne's real-world examples show the power of consistency. J.K. Rowling wrote her manuscript daily despite challenges and rejections. She didn't stop when it seemed difficult. Each writing session built toward publication and worldwide success. Michael Jordan practiced basketball relentlessly, often being the first to arrive at practice and the last to leave. His consistent effort turned natural talent into legendary skill. Sarah Blakely sent countless pitches before Spanx became a household name, proving that persistence pays off when combined with action. Consistency also helps overcome inevitable setbacks. Everyone encounters failure or fatigue along the way. When you have a consistent habit, it becomes easier to keep going because your effort is embedded into your daily life. Motivation fluctuates, but habits carry you forward. In this way, consistency is like the engine of progress. It keeps you moving. Even when enthusiasm fades, an exercise to cultivate consistency is simple. Choose one task related to your goal and commit to doing it every day for 21 days. It could be writing, practicing English, exercising, or creating content. Track your progress and reflect weekly. Notice how small, repeated actions begin to feel natural, and how your results compound over time. The key lesson here is that success is rarely instant. It grows quietly through repeated effort. By embracing consistency, you turn small actions into extraordinary achievements. As our mantra reminds us, start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. It's not just the big leaps that matter, but the daily steps that accumulate into lasting success. Consistency doesn't guarantee perfection, but it guarantees progress. It transforms potential into reality. It turns ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. And when combined with starting, trying, and taking action, consistency becomes the bridge between your goals and your achievements. As we continue our journey through the mantra start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. It's essential to understand that setbacks are not the opposite of progress. They are part of it. Every successful person you admire has faced obstacles, failures, and rejections along the way. What separates those who ultimately succeed from those who give up is how they respond to setbacks. The first step is embracing failure as feedback. Failure is not a sign that you're incapable. It's information. Each mistake tells you something: what works, what doesn't, and what you need to adjust. Imagine trying to ride a bicycle for the first time. You stumble, maybe even fall, but each fall teaches you balance, timing, and coordination. Similarly, in life and work, setbacks provide lessons if you are willing to notice them. Instead of fearing failure, view it as guidance on the path forward. Setbacks can also redirect you toward better paths. Sometimes what seems like a failure is actually a redirection toward something more suited to your skills, values, or goals. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each unsuccessful experiment brought him closer to the invention of the light bulb. When doors close, it's an opportunity to explore other doors that might open wider than you imagined. To grow from setbacks, you need techniques for reflection. Take time to analyze what happened without judgment. Ask questions like, what did I learn? What could I do differently next time? How can I use this experience to improve? Journaling your reflections, talking with a mentor, or even quietly thinking through mistakes can turn a discouraging event into a valuable learning experience. Reflection is the bridge that turns pain into progress. Let's look at inspirational examples. Steve Jobs, after being fired from Apple, the company he co-founded, didn't give up. Instead, he founded Next and Pixar, which not only brought him further success, but also eventually led to his triumphant return to Apple. Oprah Winfrey, facing early career setbacks and personal challenges, persisted with resilience and eventually built a media empire that inspires millions. Both understood that setbacks were temporary and that their response mattered more than the setback itself. Another key mindset is turning a no into motivation to try again. Rejection is inevitable, whether it's a job application, a pitch, or a personal goal. The difference is how you interpret it. Instead of seeing no as final, treat it as a challenge to improve or a prompt to find another route. Every no carries an opportunity to learn, adapt, and come back stronger. This mindset transforms obstacles into fuel for action, keeping you moving rather than paralyzed by fear or disappointment. Practical steps for learning from setbacks include: pause. Don't panic. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to step back emotionally. Analyze. Objectively. Break down what happened into facts, separating emotions from lessons. Identify actionable insights. Focus on what you can change or control moving forward. Adjust your approach. Make small changes or course corrections based on what you learned. Recommit to action. Use your insights to start again with improved strategy and confidence. Resilience is cultivated through experience. Each setback survived and learned from strengthens your ability to persevere. Over time, you develop a growth mindset, seeing challenges as opportunities for development rather than threats to your self-worth. This mindset is the backbone of persistence and is essential for achieving long-term success. An exercise to practice this mindset: think of a recent setback or failure. Write down what went wrong, what you've learned, and one specific action you can take to move forward. Then, commit to taking that action within the next 24 hours. This turns reflection into tangible progress and trains your mind to see setbacks as stepping stones rather than dead ends. Remember, success is not about avoiding failures, about how you respond when failure comes. Each setback is a chance to learn, grow, and strengthen your resolve. By embracing failure as feedback, reflecting thoughtfully, and using rejection as motivation, you cultivate the resilience needed to continue your journey. In the words of our mantra, even when you stumble, start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. The key is not perfection, but persistence. Every setback carries the seed of success if you are willing to nurture it with insight, courage, and action. As we move deeper into our journey through the mantra, start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. It's time to explore the mindset of a doer. While taking action, learning from setbacks and persisting are essential. They all begin in the mind. The thoughts, beliefs, and habits we cultivate shape how we respond to challenges and opportunities. One of the most important distinctions is between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are set in stone. They think talent alone determines success, and failure reflects their limitations. In contrast, those with a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities to learn, and effort as a path to mastery. They embrace mistakes, knowing that each setback is a stepping stone. Carol Dweck, a pioneer of this concept, explains that the mindset you adopt determines how you interpret failure, effort, and feedback. A doer's mindset starts with believing you can improve and grow. Closely tied to this is self-discipline and self-belief. Taking consistent action requires more than occasional bursts of energy, requires daily commitment, even when motivation fades. Self-discipline is the muscle that keeps you moving when excitement or inspiration wanes. Self-belief, on the other hand, gives you the courage to face uncertainty. Together, they empower you to start even when the path is unclear, to try even when success seems distant, and to do even when obstacles appear. The mindset of a doer is also fueled by curiosity, optimism, and resilience. Curiosity drives exploration. It makes you ask, what if? And seek solutions rather than excuses. Optimism gives you confidence in the possibility of positive outcomes, even after failure. Resilience keeps you going despite setbacks. Imagine an entrepreneur launching a product. Curiosity helps them identify a unique market need. Optimism encourages them to believe the idea can succeed. And resilience ensures they persevere through rejections, setbacks, and market challenges. These traits are the invisible engine behind every success story. Developing a doer mindset requires daily practices. Small, consistent actions train your mind to act rather than overthink. Morning reflection: start the day by setting intentions and visualizing progress. Break larger tasks into achievable steps to reduce overwhelm. Self-talk: replace doubts with empowering statements like "I can learn" and "improve." Journaling: track wins, lessons, and ideas daily to reinforce growth and curiosity. Continuous learning: read, listen, and explore new skills to expand capability and confidence. Quotes and anecdotes from famous doers reinforce these principles. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, famously said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." His mindset combined relentless effort, learning from mistakes, and the courage to act despite repeated failures. Another example is Marie Curie, whose curiosity, optimism, and perseverance in the face of societal and scientific barriers led to groundbreaking discoveries in radioactivity. She didn't wait for conditions to be perfect. She acted, learned, and adapted continuously. These stories show that being a doer isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about cultivating a mindset that sees possibilities where others see obstacles. To summarize, the mindset of a doer is built on several key pillars. A. Growth mindset that welcomes challenges and learning. Self-discipline to take consistent action. Self-belief that fuels courage and resilience. Curiosity, optimism, and adaptability to navigate obstacles and seek solutions. Practicing these traits daily turns action into habit, effort into skill, and persistence into achievement. Each day you consciously adopt the mindset of a doer. You strengthen your ability to start, try, and do, even when the road is uncertain. Remember, being a doer isn't about being fearless or perfect. It's about choosing action over inaction, learning over stagnation, and growth over comfort. By fostering this mindset, you equip yourself to embrace challenges, recover from setbacks, and turn your ideas into results as you continue your journey. Repeat the mantra: start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. Let it remind you that the right mindset transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. By thinking like a doer, you make action, learning, and perseverance not just habits, but a way of life. Once you've started, tried, and embraced the mindset of a doer, the next crucial step is building momentum. Momentum is the invisible force that carries you forward when motivation dips and challenges arise. It transforms small, consistent actions into meaningful progress and eventually into major achievements. The principle is simple: action breeds action, and progress breeds progress. The first key idea in building momentum is the compounding effect of effort and learning. Small steps, repeated consistently, accumulate into significant results over time. Think of learning a language, practicing an instrument, or growing a business. 1 hour a day may seem insignificant at first, but over weeks, months, and years, the results are extraordinary. Each effort not only moves you forward, but also teaches you something valuable. The learning compounds along with your action, making each subsequent step easier and more effective. This is the power of momentum. The more you do, the easier it becomes to do more. Celebrating micro successes is another essential aspect of maintaining momentum. These are small wins that may seem minor, but are psychologically powerful. Completing a task you've been avoiding, learning a new skill, or overcoming a small challenge, all these moments reinforce your sense of capability. Celebrating them doesn't mean you become complacent. It means you recognize and reinforce your progress. This positive reinforcement encourages you to continue, making it easier to tackle the next challenge. Momentum thrives on recognition, even of small achievements. However, momentum is fragile if you ignore the risk of burnout. Pushing relentlessly without breaks can stall progress entirely. The goal is sustainable action. Schedule rest, reflection, and self-care just as intentionally as you schedule work. Short breaks, regular reflection on progress, and time for relaxation help maintain energy, focus, and motivation. Momentum is not about rushing. It's about moving steadily, consistently, and intelligently toward your goals. Once momentum is established, it naturally creates opportunities. When people see consistent effort and progress, doors open. Opportunities often follow action, collaborations, promotions, invitations, and ideas that wouldn't appear if you remained inactive. Momentum makes you more visible, credible, and ready to seize. The world rewards those who move consistently forward, even imperfectly. Because action signals commitment and capability. Real-world examples highlight the transformative power of momentum. Consider J.K. Rowling, who wrote every day despite repeated rejections. Each completed chapter, each submission, and each small milestone compounded into a literary phenomenon. Similarly, Elon Musk consistently iterates and launches projects. Each small success, learning, and adjustment builds momentum that drives the next innovation. Even in athletics. Training consistently, even with small improvements, daily leads to extraordinary achievements over months and years. Momentum turns persistence into extraordinary outcomes. Practical strategies to build momentum include: start small, but start consistently small. Manageable tasks reduce procrastination and ensure daily progress. Track progress visually. Checklists, journals, or progress boards reinforce movement forward and highlight cumulative achievements. Set sequential goals. Let each milestone lead naturally to the next, creating a sense of continuity and purpose. Celebrate wins. Reward yourself for consistency and effort, not just final results. Adjust and adapt. Momentum doesn't mean rigid persistence. Reflect, refine, and continue with smarter strategies. The compounding effect is also mental. Each success, no matter how small, builds confidence and self-efficacy. Your belief in your ability to achieve grows alongside your achievements. In this way, momentum is not just physical action, it's mental reinforcement. With each step, you become more capable, more confident, and more prepared for bigger challenges. Avoid the trap of comparing yourself to others. Momentum is personal. Your growth is measured by your own starting point, your own effort, and your own trajectory. Consistency in your own actions, no matter how modest, compounds over time into extraordinary results. To summarize, building momentum is about turning small, consistent actions into a snowball of progress. It combines the power of compounding effort, celebration of micro-successes, sustainable pacing to prevent burnout, and openness to opportunities that arise along the way. Momentum is the force that takes the energy from starting, trying, and doing, and transforms it into meaningful achievements as you continue on your journey. Remember, momentum is earned through daily action, reinforced by reflection and celebration, and amplified by consistency. Keep moving, keep learning, and trust that each small step compounds into remarkable success. The mantra remains your guide. Start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. Momentum ensures that your going eventually carries you far beyond where you first began. In our society, success is often portrayed as a final destination, a single achievement, a trophy, a promotion, or a milestone. We imagine that reaching a certain point will make everything perfect. But the truth is far more inspiring. Success is a journey, not a destination. It is the continuous process of growth, effort, learning, and resilience that defines true achievement. The first key idea is that success is the outcome of continuous action and growth. It is not a single moment, but the cumulative effect of your daily habits, choices, and mindset. Every step you take, every attempt you make, every lesson you learn contributes to your journey. Even setbacks and failures are part of this path. They are not roadblocks, but signposts guiding you toward improvement. The focus shifts from achieving a particular result to developing the person who can achieve results consistently. One of the most important aspects of this journey is personal development. True success is less about external validation awards, titles, or recognition and more about becoming a better version of yourself. This might include improving your skills, strengthening your mindset, nurturing relationships, or expanding your knowledge. When personal growth becomes your priority, you find that external outcomes naturally follow. People who pursue growth for its own sake develop resilience, adaptability, and insight qualities that create lasting success. Stories of perseverance bring this idea to life. Take Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure was not the end of the journey, but a step toward discovery and mastery. Consider Oprah Winfrey, who faced early career setbacks and personal challenges, yet kept learning, growing, and taking action. Their journeys teach us that success is rarely instantaneous. It is a marathon of consistent effort, reflection, and adaptation. Understanding this mindset also frees you from the pressure of immediate results. You no longer measure success solely by the endpoint. Instead, success becomes the act of progressing, learning, and persisting. Each effort, each attempt, and even each stumble becomes meaningful because it contributes to your development. You start valuing the process itself, the daily choices, the challenges overcome, and the resilience built along the way. One practical approach to embracing the journey. Mindset is to set process-oriented goals rather than outcome-based goals. For example, instead of aiming only to earn a promotion, focus on consistently improving your skills, building relationships, and contributing value. Instead of striving solely for a published book, focus on writing a chapter daily, learning from feedback, and refining your craft. By centering on the actions you can control, you sustain motivation, celebrate progress, and continue moving forward regardless of external outcomes. Another critical element is learning from failures along the way. Failures are not evidence of inadequacy. They are opportunities to gather insight and adjust your approach. Each no or misstep carries lessons that bring you closer to success. J.K. Rowling faced repeated rejections before publishing Harry Potter. Each rejection was part of her journey, shaping her craft, determination, and ultimate triumph. Recognizing that setbacks are integral to the journey reduces fear and encourages persistent effort. It is also important to cultivate gratitude and reflection throughout your journey. Acknowledge how far you've come, the skills you've developed, the challenges you've overcome, and the knowledge you've gained. Reflection helps maintain perspective, keeps you grounded, and reinforces the value of the journey itself. Momentum, motivation, and inspiration are strengthened when you celebrate both small and large milestones along the path. Success as a journey also emphasizes long-term perseverance over instant gratification. In a world full of quick fixes and shortcuts, it is easy to get discouraged when results are slow or setbacks occur. But those who understand that success is a process recognize that every effort contributes to the bigger picture. They see obstacles as part of the adventure rather than reasons to quit. They remain patient, disciplined, and focused on the continuous journey of improvement. Finally, remember that your journey is uniquely yours. Comparing your path to others is not only unproductive, but can be discouraging. Everyone moves at their own pace, with their own challenges, opportunities, and lessons. The most important measure of success is progress relative to where you started, not relative to someone else. Each small, consistent effort compounds over time, shaping the person you are and the impact you can make. To summarize, success is not a fixed point to be reached, but a journey to be experienced and embraced. It is the accumulation of daily efforts, growth, learning, and resilience. Personal development, continuous action, and a focus on the process matter more than accolades or recognition. Failures, setbacks, and challenges are not detours. They are integral parts of the journey. By valuing the path itself and committing to persistent effort, you cultivate the mindset, skills, and habits that make long-term success inevitable as you move forward. Remember this mantra: start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. Each step you take is part of your journey. Each challenge you overcome strengthens you. Each small effort compounds into meaningful progress. And with every day, you are moving forward not just toward external success, but toward becoming the person you are capable of being. Success, in its truest sense, is the journey you live fully, persistently, and purposefully. As we reach the final section of this journey together, it's time to reflect on the key message that ties everything we've discussed into a powerful, actionable mantra. Start, try, do it. If you keep going, success will come. This is not just a catchy phrase, it is a blueprint for taking control of your life, overcoming obstacles, and achieving your goals. Let's revisit the principles we've explored and see how they form a path to meaningful, lasting success. First, we talked about starting. The act of beginning is deceptively simple, yet profoundly transformative. Many of us wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect set of circumstances. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting often leads to stagnation. Whether it's learning a new skill, starting a project, or pursuing a dream, the very act of starting creates momentum. It turns ideas into actions and transforms potential into reality. Starting even imperfectly is the first decisive step toward success. Next comes trying. Once you've begun, the key is persistent effort. Trying is not about immediate results or flawless execution. It's about learning, improving, and moving forward despite challenges. Every attempt, even those that feel like failures, is valuable. They are lessons in disguise, opportunities to grow stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Remember, consistent effort compounds over time. Every step you take, no matter how small, adds up to meaningful progress. Then we emphasize doing it, taking action beyond planning and preparation. Ideas and intentions are important, but without action, they remain dreams. Doing creates momentum. It propels you past fear, hesitation, and doubt. Practical strategies such as time blocking, prioritization, and accountability make action sustainable. When you commit to doing even imperfectly, you discover new opportunities, overcome hidden obstacles, and gain confidence that fuels further progress. Equally important is keeping going. The path to success is rarely linear. Setbacks, failures, and challenges are inevitable. But those who persevere understand that each difficulty is a stepping stone. Resilience, mindset, and consistent effort are what distinguish those who achieve lasting success from those who give up too soon. By embracing setbacks as feedback and maintaining your commitment to progress, you cultivate the perseverance necessary for long-term achievement. Throughout this journey, we've shared stories of inspiring individuals who exemplify these principles. Thomas Edison, J.K. Rowling, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, and countless others remind us that persistence pays off. Their achievements were not instant. They were built through countless attempts, learning from failures, and an unwavering commitment to keep moving forward. These real-world examples demonstrate that success is accessible to anyone willing to start. Try, act, and persist. Now, it's your turn. The most important step you can take today is to take the first step. Start where you are, with what you have, and take action now. Don't wait for perfection, permission, or the ideal conditions. Write down your first actionable step, commit to it, and execute. Even a small action, sending an email, drafting a plan, learning a new skill, or simply saying yes to an opportunity sets the chain of momentum in motion to maintain perseverance over time. It's crucial to cultivate certain habits and mindsets. Celebrate micro-successes, track your progress, and reflect on lessons learned. Build routines that support consistent action. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your growth. And above all, nurture your belief in your own potential. Self-doubt will arise, but remember, action builds confidence. And persistence produces results. Consider the words of Winston Churchill. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. This encapsulates the essence of our message. Your journey is ongoing, and each day presents an opportunity to start anew. Try again, act, and persevere. No single moment defines your success. Your consistent commitment over time does. It's also important to internalize that your journey is unique. Avoid comparing yourself to others or measuring your progress against someone else's path. Your success is defined by your own growth, effort, and resilience. Every small step forward is meaningful. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your ability to continue. Every lesson you learn brings you closer to your goals. Finally, let this be your call to action. Don't stop moving forward. Even when progress feels slow, even when setbacks arise, keep going. The principles we've discussed, start, try, do it, keep going, are simple. But their consistent application produces extraordinary results. Remember, success favors those who act, persevere, and embrace the journey. As we conclude this series, remember that your success is waiting for you. It is not a distant dream, but a reality shaped by your actions, resilience, and persistence. Each day is an opportunity to take a step forward, no matter how small. Each effort compounds into lasting achievement. Each moment of perseverance builds momentum toward the life you envisioned. So, friend or dear listener, take this message to heart. Start today. Try consistently, do it boldly, and keep going relentlessly. The path may be challenging, but the rewards, growth, fulfillment, and achievement are immeasurable. Your journey is yours to create, and your success is not only possible, it is inevitable if you commit to moving forward. Take the first step now. Keep taking the next one. And remember, if you keep going, success will come.